Hello from the Keep Military Museum in Dorchester for the launch of the Dorchester and Poundbury Business Awards 2021. Now, I'm Rick Simmons. I've hosted or run a good few Dorset Awards ceremonies in my time, even some of them relatively recently, but my goodness, this year, hasn't it, has been something else. My goodness. So welcome to the launch event, slightly more virtually this time around, but we're looking forward towards a brighter new year, while celebrating what we already have and what we have achieved over the past recent months. Firstly, as always, I wanted to assure you of our COVID compliance. Everything we are doing today is COVID compliant. For starters, the majority of those watching this are watching from their homes and businesses, so we have no particular worries there. But for those that we do have here to take part in the event today, we're obviously ensuring hand sanitizing, we're ensuring social distancing, and we're doing all the appropriate things, including limiting the numbers in our little temporary studio here at the Keep. I was actually reading that our bit of Dorset, I think, is one of the lowest places in the country for COVID cases as it stands. I may have got that wrong, but I think that's what I was reading. So I'm sure we're all of the opinion that we want to keep it like that. So we're doing our little part in making sure that remains the way today. So that's the health and safety bit out of the way. I just wanted to say what a wonderful location we are in this lunchtime, the famous Keep Military Museum. And as much as the commercial side of our community has found the last 9 months incredibly difficult, obviously the cultural side of the town and the surrounds has as well. So it's lovely to be able to highlight this wonderful part of Dorchester's heritage, as I hope the preceding video did just there. So it's really exciting that the Dorchester and Poundbury Business Awards are here, especially with the inclusion of Poundbury. If you haven't recently, I encourage you to do a good little explore of the streets of Poundbury. Even in a year such as this, businesses are starting up, businesses are growing. There are a good few surprises in the streets of Poundbury. In fact, just a couple of days ago, I spotted a new cafe opening up, which is just wonderful to see and great to explore, if appropriate, if you have been homebound in recent months. Effectively, we're celebrating the range and the quality of business in Dorchester and Poundbury. And on a personal note, my car's parked just outside. It actually is broken down in the car park about 2 hours ago, and just a great example of the great businesses we have here, sorted within half an hour, and I can get back home after this successfully, fingers crossed anyway. So over the next 20 minutes, we'll be hearing from Barry White from Humphreys Kirk, Dee Swinton from Dorset Mind, and Paul Atterbury from the Antiques Roadshow. But firstly, you'll want to know the categories and how to enter, of course. So please do give a warm online welcome to Nigel Reeve from Marketing West.
Thank you very much, Rick. What Rick didn't tell you is yesterday we were talking and I said, well, make sure you allow enough time. You never know, your car can break down. And lo and behold, it did. So there we go, lesson to be learnt for all of us. So what's this really all about? What are the awards about? Well, what I'd like to start by saying is really something about the aims. Joel, can I have the first slide, please? Yeah, the aims of the awards, to make one thing absolutely clear, they are here to promote local business. Life has been incredibly difficult for the last nearly 12 months now, and we're all inclined to get in a little bit of a rut. It's time to do something and try and do something about it. The area has got a fantastic range of businesses and we need to promote them. To make one thing absolutely clear, a lot of awards turn out to be a very enjoyable evening, certainly a lot of over-beveraging or whatever you want to call it, but these awards are really going to be purely to promote local business. That's what it's all about. They're going to be at a lunchtime. They're not going to be in the evening. The whole idea is people will finish, when these awards are over, people will actually be able to say, yeah, that really has helped me understand the range of businesses we've got. Maybe we should shop more in this area. That's what it's all about. There are one or two terms that we insist on. To start with, the awards must be free to enter. They've got to be free, and they've got to be simple to enter. Anybody can go to the website, more about that in a minute, and look at the terms. When these go online at the beginning of January, and when they're on there, you'll see if it takes you more than 10 minutes to enter, it's taking too long. It's not something where write 500 words about this, write 500 words about that. It's purely a very simple form that you just press the button and it's submitted, and it's free to enter. What we've tried to do as well is have a category for every single business. We may have it right, we may have it wrong. And one thing we will say now is if you can think of a category that we have missed, please tell us, because there's still plenty of time to get extra categories added. The whole idea is we want to make sure there is something for every single business with these awards. If we can move on, Joel, to the next slide, I'd like to just run through what the categories are that we have at this moment. The first thing is best community support. Now, that's an interesting one. With everything that we've gone through, it's the business that has done more to help the community, and businesses in general, during these problems. It's whatever business has given the community the most support. Best customer service. Excuse me. I'd like to just add that the best customer service isn't just aimed at the retail market, it's really customer and client service. So any business that has customers or has clients can enter that award. Arts, crafts and design. It's a very creative area, so let's have something for that. There's the mental well-being and awareness. Now, again, going back to the issues we've had, the whole idea behind that is it's the business that has more awareness about the problems, that mental health problems that will come out of everything that we've gone through. People not sure about their jobs, people not realising what's going to happen. So we've put an award in for the organisation that has had shown the most consciousness. I should add that the chosen charity for the awards is also Dorset Mines. So we're doing all we can to help there. Best use of digital. It's a changing world. Now, how many businesses during the current problems have thought, well, okay, let's keep going, but let's see if we can sell online. If people have used digital, that is an asset, not a negative. The Green Business of the Year, that really answers itself. We've got to do something to stop the issues with the planet. New business, best new business. Again, that's fairly self-explanatory. Joel, next slide, please. Health, beauty, and fitness. Now, that fitness one, I'm going to add something there. I actually got an email yesterday from somebody saying, well, you've got health and beauty, but why don't you add fitness? Absolutely right. So that covers gyms and any area that concentrates on your actual physical fitness, as well as your health and your beauty. Independent Business of the Year, Retail Business of the Year, Service Provider, Cafe Pub, and we've deliberately kept that in during these current times to help that category of business. Rising Star, now that's another interesting one. This is aimed at somebody who, people can nominate some of these categories. They don't have to enter themselves. And it's the, let's say 16 to 25-year-old, best 25-year-old who has either started a business or started working for somebody. It's the rising star of the area. And people can nominate who they think deserves that. So that's just a quick run through, but we are certainly open to any suggestions. And I should add that the overall winner will be chosen from the winner of one of those categories. More about that in a moment. Moving on to the next stage, as far as the timetable is concerned, firstly, category sponsorship opened on Monday. So all of these categories are available for somebody to sponsor. They get a package where, as well as the standard things like the name on the trophy and the certificate, but also it's other things that follow on from that. So it's a video of that sponsor saying why they're supporting the awards. It's a number of things. It's places at the awards lunch. So it's a series of things that we can put into that package, and they are now open. So if anybody is interested in getting in touch, I've got the details coming up in a moment, please get in touch if you're interested in sponsoring. We've already, I've got to say, and I wasn't expecting this, had 4 of the sponsorship packages sold, and we only started releasing them on Monday. So it shows the level of interest that we have. I should also add that the website is up. I've said that already. The interesting thing is, as the weeks go by, the viewing numbers to that website are growing exponentially by around 20 to 25% every single week. So, you know, it's now rising well into the hundreds. So again, it shows the level of interest. Early in January, the entries will be open. They will be on the website. There's also going to be guidelines. So if somebody wants to enter and they want to know really what's the criteria, what have they got to fill in, they can just read those guidelines. Very, very simple, probably 5 lines for each category, but they can enter that way. And then early in April, the entries close. There's a series of independent judges who will then mark all the entries. It's as simple as that. And the entry that has the highest number of points from the judges is the winner in that category. And then early in May, it's the lunchtime awards, and there will be more information about that following very, very soon. Next slide, please, Joel. So just to give you a little bit, if anybody, a bit more information, if anybody wants to get in touch, contact networking@marketingwest.co.uk or go to the website, and that's got, that you can get in touch with us that way, or you can just see the latest news on that website, what's happening. And it's www.d&pbusinessawards.co.uk. And the last option, the old traditional thing, if you want to call us, 01305 858 858. So that's enough from me. Back to you, Rick.
Excellent. It certainly seems to be one of the phrases of the year, doesn't it? Next slide, please. Along with "you're on mute." Those seem to be one of the 2 most used phrases of 2020 and will haunt us for many years to come in our memories in that respect. Many thanks, Nigel. So I'm a great believer in this world of reiterating and repeating. dnpbusinessawards.co.uk. Entries open from early January and the awards in May 2021. Now then, I've already waxed lyrical about the Keep Military Museum. I'm pleased to be able to welcome Colin from the Keep, who can tell us about their involvement in the Dorchester and Poundbury Business Awards.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Nigel. Hello, my name is Colin Parr. I'm currently the curator of this museum. And may I say right from the outset that along with the trustees, the staff and the volunteers, we are delighted that this venue is playing host to the Business Awards. The building, this building, and the barracks behind were commissioned for use in 1879, which for those of you who have a historical background might recall ran the period of the Zulu Wars, and in fact Rorke's Drift of the very same year, where 11 Victoria Crosses were won. But perhaps to some extent a little bit more important for our more modern history, it was also the start of the moves to bring regiments into line with counties as county regiments, and certainly Dorsetshire and Devon benefited from that in the future. The museum showcases the county regiments of Devon and Dorset for over 350 years of service. Through its artefacts, its information panels, and its displays. Finally, may I, on behalf of the Military Museum of Devon and Dorset, here at the Keep, wish everybody good luck when the Business Awards are made. Thank you very much. Back to you, Rick.
Thank you so much. What a historical place, and spent many happy hours here, and look forward to be able to spend more time in 2021 exploring the history of such a building in slightly easier circumstances, fingers crossed, as the vaccine gets rolled out and life starts returning to some semblance of normal. So now, few of us in the business community haven't heard of Barry White from Humphreys Kirk, local businessman and host of those networking breakfasts, the ones with the great spread. Remember networking breakfasts when we could all get together and we didn't have to just grab something from the kitchen 5 minutes before a Zoom? Yes, those ones. I am delighted to invite him up to tell us all about his involvement. Barry.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Rick, for that build-up. Have I gone red? Yes, networking. It's interesting, isn't it? And it's been a fruitless year for business networking, but there is hope on the horizon, I believe. Anyway, good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. When I came to work and live in Dorchester, nearly 20 years ago, I immediately felt I was living in a big village, and a very vibrant one at that, rather than actually moving to a county town. But both my wife and I were struck by the friendliness of business owners and their staff, with a willingness to order any item that they didn't have in stock. Now that is real customer service, which was a far cry from where we had moved from. At that time, Brewery Square was a very large twinkle in the developer's eyes, and it was difficult to imagine what the redevelopment of the magnificent brewery buildings would look like. But look at it now. A wide range of retail units, restaurants and bars, topped with apartments, and even a hotel. What a vibrant, upmarket addition to the town this is, and leads the visitor into the historic town centre and all it has to offer in the way of shopping, leisure and cultural activities. Add the Wednesday market to this, which in normal terms attracts coachloads of visitors into the town's tea rooms and shops, and Dorchester is the envy of many other towns, let alone county towns. The Grove Trading Estate is another part of Dorchester's offering, with a wide range of businesses which one would perhaps think of as out-of-town shopping, but is actually within easy reach of the town centre and a business hub in its own right. When we arrived, Poundbury was also in its early stages of development and rather thought of by some as a separate village, rather than as part of Dorchester, with little to offer in the way of facilities I have mentioned. Now, arriving in Poundbury from the town centre is almost seamless, and it can truly be said to be Dorchester, offering a really interesting mix of retail businesses, mainly situated around the hubs of Poundbury Square, Queen Mother Square, and the Butter Market. However, the adventurous resident or visitor can find the more traditional small corner shop, that's for the want of a better description, offering unique and original items, as well as places to eat and drink, including 2 pubs, and one classed as a hotel. Many service and commercial businesses have relocated to Poundbury, as it offers quite a different working environment, plus free parking. I've been very fortunate to work and live in such an interesting and vibrant town, and the Dorchester and Poundbury Business Awards are an exciting way for local businesses from all sectors to showcase themselves and achieve recognition in their particular awards category. All I wish is good luck to you all.
Thank you so much, Barry. So moving on as we continue our lunchtime vodcast, or whatever they call it these days, one of the jewels in Dorchester and Poundbury's crown is, of course, the Literary Festival. Just a place with such heritage, such history, and obviously with the history of Hardy and beyond, it really is just a wonderful thing that keeps coming back year after year. And obviously it's been a tough year this year, but we have huge hopes for 2021. And I'm delighted to say that here to speak with us this lunchtime from the Antiques Roadshow is one of the organisers and the brain people behind it, Paul Atterbury.
Well, thank you, Rick. Yes, it's very nice to be here to represent our festival. We started it, Janet Gleeson and I, 6 years ago, rather into a sort of empty world and not knowing what would happen. And we've been delighted over the last 6 years how it has built to become such an important part of the Dorchester environment, indeed the Dorset environment. We're very honoured that that has happened. We were very sad to have to cancel the festival in 2020. In October we should have been all enjoying ourselves, listening to great authors and attracting, as we did in 2019, 4,000 visitors to the town. Well, not necessarily visitors, but people who came to share our festival. We had to cancel, along with many other literary festivals in Britain, because it was simply impossible to operate it in the conditions that applied a couple of months ago and of course still apply now. However, we are determined that we will bring it back in 2021. We are already planning the structure of the festival. It will be, as usual, at the beginning of October, and we will perhaps include some of the great lineup that we had to cancel this year, but there will also be many new names being added to the list. At this point, I'm not giving away any secrets because I don't have any to give away. It's an early stage. We are now beginning to talk to publishers, talk to authors, and put together the programme. This is what happens during the early months of the year. We build a programme that hopefully will appeal to everybody when we launch it in July or August during the summer. Everybody has been very good to us. The town, the county has looked after us, and I hope that we've given something back. Dorchester has always needed a festival, a literary festival. It is such a town of literary connections, and we feel that in a way we've tried to fill that gap. But we depend on the local businesses, local support, local sponsors, and of course we depend very much on the total Dorchester and Dorset community to come and share our festival. So we look forward to seeing you again across the stage, as you might say, in October 2021, and hopefully we'll take over and take up where we left off, sadly, this year. Thank you.
Yes, our very best wishes for the creation of what hopefully will be an even bigger and better 2021 for the Literary Festival. Personally, one of my favourites. Thank you very much, Paul. Well, there's no doubt that the last 9 months have taken a toll both on business and personal lives, and mental health is a hugely important focus right now and will continue to be as we make our way out of the pandemic. Which is why the Dorchester and Poundbury Business Awards are proud to be supporting Dorset Mind. And joining us from Mind on video is Dee Swinton. Dee.
Thanks, Rick, for the introduction. My name is Dee. I work for Dorset Mind, the local mental health charity. As you know, we've had a very, very difficult time recently with lockdown. So thank you to Marketing West for inviting us to be charity partner. I'm delighted to say that we've continued our services in Dorchester. I'm just going to run through them just so that you get a feel of what we actually do locally. So we run a monthly wellbeing group, which is essential for supporting people's mental wellbeing. We also help them maintain it by teaching coping strategies. We also offer, in conjunction with Mayors Estate Agents, the GAP service. The GAP project, which is an allotment-based project over at Loud Mill allotment. We also work with schools locally. So we work with Thomas Hardy, Dorchester Middle School, and we also offer a counselling service and a wellbeing check-in, which is available every week. Another service that we also offer, which is really important, is befriending. So we're looking for volunteers at the moment. Our befriending service has increased by 80% during lockdown, and people feel really isolated and lonely, and a phone call from one of our volunteers can really make a difference. Please visit our website if you fancy volunteering. There's lots of opportunities. We're specifically looking for people in Dorchester to help us out. And now back to you, Rick.
Thank you, Dee. And as the rain comes down on the ceiling above me and we sort of continue into a slightly wet afternoon, that does indeed wrap up the announcements for this lunchtime. Thank you so much for watching. Put this into your browser now, dnpbusinessawards.co.uk. Take a look, save it as a bookmark or whatever suits you. And then once you get your 2021 diary from Father Christmas, put that little reminder in early January so you can start nominating businesses. I sure as heck am going to be nominating the garage who came and saved me from my broken down car earlier on this morning. So there's definitely one vote already in the bag. You never know, we could be seeing you at the awards come May 2021. All being well, we'll be able to celebrate in person. dnpbusinessawards.co.uk. Thank you so much for watching and a very Merry Christmas.